welcome back to my channel. So for today's video, I am going to be talking about my first trimester signs, symptoms, must-haves, and my little baby bump. So without further ado, let's just jump right into the video. Alright guys, so I'm going to start off with talking about signs. So I had mentioned in my when I found out that I was pregnant video that I had a miscarriage prior to this pregnancy, so like the month before. And with that pregnancy, I had the same exact symptoms as this pregnancy. So once I got those symptoms with this pregnancy, I was like, yep, I'm pregnant. I didn't even have to test. Well, I couldn't test because it was only like week 3. That's when I actually found out that I was pregnant, around week 3 or like the end of week 2. So with the first pregnancy, the first sign that I got was spotting. So I started spotting around week 3 of that pregnancy. So like a week before I was supposed to get my period. No, a little bit more than that. So like maybe week 2, like the end of week 2. I found out that, well, I started spotting, and that is something that has never ever happened to me before. I actually googled it, and apparently it's something normal, and it's just like your body telling you that you're about to get your period, and then other stuff that it was telling me. But that's just something that's never happened to me, and we were already trying, so like I knew something was up at that point. So that was like the first sign. And then the second sign was my boobs were hurting, and they were hurting like on the side. And I know that that's something that happens before you get your period, or like during your period for many women, but that is just something that doesn't happen to me. So like when I get my period, my boobs don't really hurt. And yeah, they've hurt maybe like twice or so a year, but it's not like it happens all the time. So once it happened with the first pregnancy, I was like, yeah, something is definitely up. And then the third sign that I got was tooth sensitivity. So this is a weird one because I've never heard of someone having tooth sensitivity as a sign for their pregnancy. So it was like this tooth at the bottom right here, and every time I would brush my teeth, and it wasn't even like the toothpaste or eating something cold, it was mostly just like the bristles of the toothbrush. Like whenever I would brush my teeth in that area, it hurt so bad. It was so sensitive, and I just thought it was weird that I was getting that during my pregnancy. But it was a sign because once I had the miscarriage, all of those signs were gone. So like the sensitivity was gone completely. So I was like, okay, yeah, it has to do with the pregnancy. And then the following month, when I was actually pregnant with this one, the tooth sensitivity came back, and all those same exact signs came back. And that's when I knew that I was pregnant. So I didn't think that the tooth sensitivity was something else. I already knew that it was because of the pregnancy. And I guess it's like the different type of hormones and stuff that your body's creating, so like it makes you more sensitive, I guess. But anyways, with this pregnancy, I found out very early on. I obviously didn't know, like physically, I didn't take the pregnancy test because it was very early on. It was week 3. So like, actually no, it was a little bit less than 3 weeks, because it was definitely way before a week before I was supposed to get my period. So maybe like 2 weeks and like 4 days that I already knew that I was pregnant. And it was definitely way too early to test. And you know, going through a miscarriage, I just feel like if I would have seen a negative pregnancy test, that would have made me very sad, and I didn't want to go through that again. So I just waited until it got closer to when I was supposed to get my period. So now with this pregnancy, I found out 3 days before I was supposed to get my period that I was pregnant, because that's when I actually tested. I think it was 3 days, but that was when I actually tested. Now with the miscarriage pregnancy, I tested about 3 to 4 days after my missed period. And I know with the miscarriage, there was nothing that I could have did in order to prevent the miscarriage. It's just something that happens, and it happens to a lot of women, and there's nothing that anyone can do in order to prevent it. But with that pregnancy, I had found out when I was late from my period. So with this pregnancy, I just wanted to find out earlier because I really wanted to be more cautious, even though I do know that nothing that I did could have prevented it. And yeah, so I just wanted to find out earlier. So I took the test about 3 days before I had my before I was supposed to get my period. So those were like the main signs that I got as to how I found out that I was pregnant. And then eventually I did take the test, and I was just super shocked. I like already knew that I was pregnant, but seeing it on the little like pregnancy test, I don't know, I was just very shocked that it happened so quickly. So I am just super blessed. But so those were some of the first few signs. Now with symptoms, like during my first trimester, I feel like this pregnancy has been so good to me. It's definitely like too good to be true in my eyes, because every time I see videos like these, or I follow people like pregnant people, they always talk about how they had it really bad and like they couldn't get out of bed. Everything would make them throw up. They felt very nauseous in the morning, and like, you know, all that morning sickness. And even like people around me, like the women around me, they've had symptoms like those before. I know 2 of my cousins, they actually they lost a lot of weight, and they looked very, very skinny because they were always throwing up. So I was ready for that. Like, I was ready to throw up. I was ready for the morning sickness. I was ready for the nausea. And I never got any of that. Like, I don't know. I'm just, like I said, it's too good to be true, because I never got nauseous. I never had any symptoms. I never got sick. I was over here eating whatever I wanted. Well, obviously when you're pregnant, you can't eat whatever you want, because there's certain things that you can't eat while you're pregnant. But there are some women that talk about how they couldn't stand certain foods or certain smells, and I'm over here just eating. And like I said, I have been super blessed throughout this pregnancy because I have not had any of those symptoms. But I did always feel very, very hungry. I would literally eat a plate, and then 10 minutes later I was hungry again. Like, I would eat another plate. And I don't know how I didn't gain so much weight throughout my first trimester, but I started off weighing 114 pounds, and right now I weigh 115 pounds. So I've only gained 1 pound. And when I go into the doctor's office, it just shocks me, because I'm like, I'm over here, like, I feel like I'm eating so much, and how have I not gained a lot of weight? Like, I've only gained 1 pound so far. So yeah, that was like one of the symptoms. And then another one was that I was always super tired. I'm not the type of person to fall asleep like in between movies, or even like fall asleep at 8 p.m. But I was doing that all the time. Like, we would watch a movie in the living room, and before I knew it, I was already knocked out. And I'd be like, okay, I have to go upstairs because I'm super tired. And like, I would go to bed at like 8 p.m. and wake up at like 5 a.m. and start my day because of how early I would go to bed. And I was just, I don't know, I was always super tired. And apparently that's the thing, like, you just sleep throughout your first trimester because I don't know, you're always tired and you're always very sleepy. So now moving on to some must-haves. So right before I got pregnant, I was already starting to take my prenatal vitamins. So I started taking my prenatal vitamins 3 months before we actually started trying. And then I also started moisturizing myself like a month before we started trying, just to start getting into the habit of doing that, because I feel like if I don't start before, I am definitely gonna forget and just not like do it every single day. So I was starting to do that every single day. So the first item that I wanted to talk about was this Palmer's Cocoa Butter Formula with vitamin E, and this is to prevent stretch marks. And I know these things can't really prevent stretch marks because genetics does play a part in whether you get stretch marks or not. So, you know, moisturizing yourself really doesn't hurt, especially because your belly's going to be growing and you really just want to keep it moisturized, because I've heard that it sometimes can dry out your skin. And also, I apologize for the lighting right now because the sun keeps coming in and out, and I feel like right now it looks fine, and then boom, okay, now the sun's starting to come out, so it's gonna get really bright in here. But anyways, I started using this a month before trying, or a month before getting pregnant the first time. So so far this has been really good. I've been using this every single day, and I feel like it's a little bit down halfway already. So I'm definitely probably gonna go through like 2 more other bottles of this. But yeah, I started using this, and I use this every single day after I get out of the shower. I just put it all over my belly. I put it like around my boobs, and I also put it around my thighs and like my butt area. And yes, I've been using this one, and I've also been using this coconut oil formula, same thing, the Palmer's brand. And obviously this one I haven't really used that much. I'm more of a this type of like butter rather than oil, so we'll see how this one goes throughout my pregnancy journey. But yeah, I've been using this one, and I've also been using this one the most. And now with prenatal vitamins, I decided to just go with the Nature Made Prenatal, and this is multi and DHA, 200 milligrams DHA. These were honestly the best ones that I thought were good for me. But you know, a lot of people will prefer to have the gummy ones because it doesn't make them throw up and stuff. But I personally just thought that these were the best ones for me. So now, I am a very forgetful person, and I'm thinking about getting like the, I don't know what they're called, but like the little containers that have like the days of the week, and you put like your pills or your medications of what you should be taking on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and so on. I think I'm actually gonna get one of those. But so far I have an alarm every single day that reminds me of when to take my vitamin, because I will literally forget. Like I can probably go like 2 days without not taking it, and then be like, wait, did I take my vitamin? And then sometimes I take it and I forget that I took it. So I feel like getting one of those things will just make my life so much easier. So if you don't have one of those, I would highly suggest for you guys to get one of those. Like that should definitely be a must-have, because I feel like overall people just forget about these things, especially because, you know, it's not like you're pregnant every single day of your life. You're only pregnant for like 9 or so months, and especially at the beginning, like you can definitely forget because it's something that's new to you. So yeah, definitely get one of those. So now I am gonna be showing you guys my little tiny, barely there baby bump. So I am currently 12 weeks pregnant right now. So this is what my belly looks like. There is nothing really there just yet. It's all like starting to form right here though. But yeah, that is pretty much it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Don't forget to like this video and also subscribe to join this pregnancy journey of mine, and I will see you guys next time. Bye guys.